well in the beginning. We felt like we was meant to be. I fell for you and skinned my knee, but hell with any injury. Eventually you'll get up gingerly. Feels like it'll take a century to heal.
Hey, what's up, ladies and genitalia? Back with another video, and I'm coming to you today with kind of my review of Revival by Eminem. I've made a video recently because I've been sick, and I just have been really busy with sports and stuff. But if you guys didn't know, Eminem's album has just been leaked 2 days before. You know, I've already pre-ordered the album, so I thought, you know, I might as well just listen to it because I've been waiting for so long, and I just wanted to see what it's made of. And you know, I went into it with an open mind, and I was thinking to myself, well, there's a lot of pop stars and things like that, but I'm just gonna let that slide and see where this album takes me. So I was listening to this and I was like, okay, let me hear some new flows, and you know, I'm not gonna be mad at the new flows that he chooses, but you know, I had an expectancy for the album, especially since it took him 4 years or so. Maybe not that whole entire time, but at the same time, it's like that's a long gap, so I had some expectancy for that. And yeah, let's get right into how the album is to me. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm a diehard stan, and this album did not deliver for me. And it hurts me to say that just because he's my favorite artist, and I was just expecting so much from him. And you know, my expectations, like, you know, he's saying, why are expectations so high? Is it the bar I set? Whatever. Yeah, I mean, he's right. It's the bar that he set, and the fact that he puts this album out and expects us to, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, but it just didn't give me the Eminem feel that I'm always used to. There was so much rock and pop samples on this album that really were making me, you know, I didn't know what to think about it, because first we got Eminem, the rap god, that just goes off on tracks, and then you got him on this new Revival album, and he's sampling rock music, which I didn't have a problem with, but it's a lot of the album. There's 3 or 4, maybe even more songs that are doing that, like with a rock type beat. And then you got pop, which is a lot of it, and it's just, you know, I was hoping there's one good track, there's a couple good tracks that hit it for me, but I just wish the entire album did that. Offended, I like that song. He brought the energy in that song, and I liked one other one, and I forget what it was, but you know, I think that he needed to bring the energy like that the entire album, and he just didn't do that. He says that he doesn't have anything left to prove, and I think that's what the album was, is he wasn't trying to prove anybody anything. And you know, I personally like Eminem when he tries to prove himself. He might be at the top, and he might be there, you know, he might be king, he might be god of rap, but that doesn't mean you can make an album and put it out and, you know, not have people's expectations so high. And you know, it's his choice to make this album the way it was, and that's my biggest problem. If you go to, I don't know if this is right, but if you go to Offended track, you know, the entire song it's fine, and you know, I'm waiting for that time where he's gonna go off, and he does go off in the last like 30 seconds, if that, and you know, he spits super quick, and he goes in raw, and I was like, dude, you know, why can't you just make the entire album like that? I can understand if you have a song here and there that's saying, or that's not just straight spitting bars, but like, you know, I expect that from Eminem. He's the one that I always went to when I was like, wow, I need a bar to mess with my brain. I need to go look for that, these crazy flows that he's doing, and you know, he just didn't deliver with that. And one thing was, he did a lot of trap on this, and I don't know, like some of these trap flows, he did Migos flow on one of them, which I don't even know. Track 2, Believe, like I'm speechless with that song because his flow is so awkward, and it's like, did he mean to do this? Like, this album, I know I'm being super harsh about it, but this album is almost like the stuff that didn't make an album, if you know what I'm saying. Like, Revival's still out there, this is the stuff that didn't make the album. And, you know, I wish that was the case, because this would be pretty good stuff if it wasn't on the album. But the fact that this is what he spent years in the making just gets me. One, because he made Relapse, and I'm going to go ahead and say Relapse was better than this album, and I'm not a huge crazy fan of Relapse. Relapse is better than this album, and I don't know. This might be better than Encore. I didn't like Encore that much, but Encore still has some like famous tracks on there. Mockingbird, what's another one? Puke. There's some different ones like that. This album, it just doesn't deliver and hit where I thought it would. And for me, it's like Revival or whatever, like that's the title, obviously. But there's nothing that made me think or correlate the songs with the name of the album. Like, some of these songs are like about his daughters and his wife, which I have no problem about, but I just don't understand why you would do that. See, I know I'm talking a lot. I'm just trying to tell you what I think of this. And sorry if I'm being a spoiler alert for you guys who haven't listened to it. And I don't want to, like, you know, like, cause you guys to go in with low expectations with the album. It's just, you know, on Recovery, he had some songs about his daughter and his wife. But I thought that he did it in a manner where it was rap and he did it spitting hard. And I thought, you know, that was pretty dope. In this, it's almost like he takes the opposite route, and he, you know, he's not going very hard. And I think that's what kind of makes me mad, is I'm so used to this new Eminem where he's like changing the flows up, but the flows on this album are crazy. And I don't like, not all good crazy. Like the Trump back in 2016 campaign speech, you know, I thought that was a weird flow, but I didn't expect anything else. I thought it was just because it was an acapella freestyle, or maybe not freestyle, but it was acapella. There was not much beat to it until I heard this album, and he was using some of the same schemes as that track, and that really disappointed me, because there was a lot of stop and go actions, which just, I mentally didn't know what was going on, because he would go off for about 5 seconds and you're like, okay, he's about to start it up, and then he'll just be like, the beat will stop, he'll stop. And you know, I honestly would like it if, even if the beat stopped, he just kept going and he kept spitting through it. But he didn't do that. But you know, like I said, I don't hate this album, but I don't love it. And it just did not deliver to me what I expected for Eminem. And the fact that I've waited so long, maybe that's the reason I'm so disappointed. Maybe if this would have come out a year ago, I wouldn't have been so disappointed with it. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is the final product, and if you're a stan, you're gonna have to grow to like it, or you're just gonna hate it. Like, that's really what it's gonna be. Some people may absolutely love it, but myself, I'm gonna have to grow to love it or grow to like it, because at this moment right now, I'm not too sure how I feel about the entire album. It makes me, like, honestly, listening to his past albums, I would say, wow, bro, these are a few songs that I want to go back and check out again, like, instantly after I listened to the entire album. This really had none that I was like, wow, I want to go replay that song. And that's the big kicker to me. That's like kind of scaring me, because I don't like, there's no replay value to these songs. And I know I'm sounding like a jerk, and you guys know me. I spent months and months like doing this stuff, and Eminem updates, all this stuff for Revival, finding out about Revival, all of this. And the fact that I have to make a video saying that I didn't like it that much, it's really getting deep, because I think MMLP2 was 10 times better than this album, and that's personally what I think. I know some people may think differently, and that's fine. Don't spam this video with dislikes if you like the album. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the album, just it wasn't what I expected, and, you know, come to an agreement with me there. We all have our opinions. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Didn't mean to be a spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but anyways, guys, peace out.
You a big fine woman, you my baby.